Lexy, and I'm here again with
George?
Yay! And today it's a different kind of video from the usual ones that we do normally. However, today we're going to give you 20 tips on budget traveling! Woo! Woo! Woo!
Here we go. Number one?
Number one, that would be cheap flights. Cheap flights, it's important to try and travel with low-cost airlines. We find EasyJet and Ryanair to be very low cost.
Yes, this is for Europe.
Exactly, Europeans. I mean, I'm not really a pro when it comes to America and other places, but whenever I travel to Europe, I try to find first EasyJet. I find it's really good. I mean, it's not very low cost. I mean, okay, Ryanair, it feels cheap.
Yeah, it is a cheap flight. You would know the second you go on the plane.
We try to find dates which are usually off-peak, like off-peak tourist season. Usually it's July or February, but I also traveled in January, like end of December, beginning of January, and I always find
we found
flights.
very cheap flights.
However, there's a trick.
What's the trick?
Booking really early.
That is true.
George, we booked for next December, like last December, so it's like 1 year ahead booking. I mean, it's
Yeah, December finished. In
Yes.
January, booked for December of, well, this year.
Yeah, so basically we booked like a year before.
When you
It's
arrive...
another tip right there, traveling at night.
Yeah,
We always travel at night, I think.
either at night or very early in the morning.
But we never found a problem, like
No.
getting around and finding, I mean, okay, if you have a really good smartphone which works, like it has really good GPS, you will find the hostel no problem. Or else just invest in maps.
Make sure that there's transport to where your hostel
Exactly.
or whatever you want to stay
I was
in.
actually going to mention that.
Yeah, so that's really important. And again, it does depend on where you're going in the countries. It varies from one to another.
Yeah, but most of the countries, they still have like bars and diners open
Yes.
like, really late. I mean, you could grab some really late dinner or really early breakfast.
In fact, that's what we did.
So yeah, that's what we did.
We stopped at Marks and Spencer's that day, and we just bought breakfast basically, which was really cheap. And
It's cheap, yeah. I mean,
we just killed like an hour, because that's all we need. We just need to kill an hour.
okay, so another tip, it would be to choose an alternative airport. I mean, obviously, if you take like the national most popular airport, it would be much more expensive than when you're taking, I don't know, maybe an airport which is at the outskirts, right? For example, in London, Heathrow, sometimes it tends to be a little bit more expensive than Gatwick or Luton or Stansted, so we always choose Gatwick. I mean, okay, yes, Heathrow, it's a little bit more
It's like Maine, more central.
it's more exactly, and it's much easier to find a train from Heathrow to central London. However, I mean, I never had problems with Gatwick. Tip number 4, travel lightly. I mean, it will save you a lot from checking luggages. I mean, when I first started going abroad on my own, it was like a fashion week for me. I took so much clothes and so many shoes that I had no space for the stuff that I bought. And obviously I had to pay for luggage, for check-in luggage, and that would cost even more. So yeah, now I just travel lightly, and yeah, I have more space in my luggage. I have no like check-in expenses.
I think that's more of a problem for women though.
It is kind of a problem because you can never
me,
have enough
never.
makeup. You can never have enough makeup in your luggage. You can never have enough shoes. I mean, okay, yeah, I just travel with one pair of shoes.
Just remember, you are all beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, guys, you're a tourist and no one will notice what the hell you're
Yeah.
wearing, so just
If you wear a shirt for like 3 or 4 days straight,
No, that's gross.
no one would know.
No
Unless
one
you
would
stink.
know. Exactly. That's
Unless you stink. If you don't stink, that's okay. If you don't
Deodorant.
stink, that's the problem.
Here to help.
Yeah, that should be a tip. Did we put it
Okay.
down?
So, tip number 5.
Wear deodorant.
No. That's not for budget traveling. That's for every day.
No, that's every day. That's a must.
Like deodorant. Deodorant.
Okay, let's go to tip number 5. So,
Yes.
tip number 5 is basically hotels or basically where you're gonna stay.
Okay. We always choose. It's either booking.com, and we filter like the lowest prices first.
Exactly.
Or else it's Airbnb. And I have friends that tried Couchsurfing. I
not
never
my
really
favorite,
tried it
but-
because whenever I travel, it's always cold, and I feel so cold, and I don't want to end up, I don't know, somewhere on a porch somewhere, like waiting for someone to
Yeah.
just take me in. I will die. I mean, I cannot afford that, so I will always go for like really cheap hostels.
It was like 20-30 minutes away from central London,
Yeah.
so
It
you-
wasn't that convenient,
Yeah.
but I mean the
the
train.
train was like 5 minutes away, literally. You know, trains are really good on time, so you don't have any problems with time.
That's another tip. Trains.
I like trains!
I mean, okay, I'm not speaking in terms of where I live, because in Malta we don't have trains. I mean,
No.
we have public transport, and it's not good. Exactly.
Not really.
It's not that good. But
Not that driving is good either.
But whenever I go
Okay.
abroad, I always catch the trains or the public transport because it's really, really good. You know, I mean, the most punctual, I think it would have to be Munich. It was so punctual. I don't know, there were trains like all the time. You know, you just.
I was really impressed
I was so impressed.
with Stockholm's buses.
Stockholm's buses.
Those buses were not a minute late. Never. You would have the time.
It's the Stockholm engineer.
Yeah.
7th tip. Walk. So, but whenever I went abroad, I mean, it was never a problem to walk. You know, it would save you so much money.
Yeah.
It would be beneficial, and it would also be beneficial because you would like see and
You
look. You know, you have, I mean, and talk to locals and meet people. You know, and just look around. And I find it the most interesting part of the week, like of the vacation. You know, like walking around.
Just make sure if you're walking, don't do like me. Make sure that you have comfortable walking shoes. Because that happened to me in the last time I went to London. I ended up spending their just shoes. I had to buy one there, but it was really good, really worth it still. So
Yeah, but-
that was a bonus. But that is pretty important because you don't want to ruin your feet. You have a whole week. If you ruin your feet in the first 2 days, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Bonus tip: if you're not like a foodie, so I'm a little bit of a foodie, so I like my food.
I love very foodie.
Yeah, just if you don't want to spend, McDonald's is good.
McDonald's
Like we did in,
or
Milan.
packed lunch.
Yeah, Milan, that's what we did. It was like
Milan's
10
so
euros
expensive.
margarita pizza, so that wasn't good. So we ended up like McDonald's, which we were like there for
Yeah.
3 days, so we didn't went for food.
Yeah, and also in London we had like 24/7 Asda
Yeah.
near us.
And also they can try actually street market food. You can.
That's another tip.
That's actually one of the.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
it's
another
a very
tip.
good,
Like,
very good
check
cuisine. That's
for
nice.
local stalls,
Yeah.
because sometimes the street markets or street food, it's really good. Also, most of the time it would be like something which is kind of really popular with the locals. For example,
That
in
is true.
Munich,
That is true.
you can find like bratwurst stalls everywhere, and they are so cheap that when I went to Munich, I just ate bratwurst
And pretzels.
and pretzels
And
and
more pretzels.
mulled wine.
And more pretzels.
And that's what we're going to do.
And more
drink-
pretzels.
Yes, more and more pretzels, but they were so cheap and so good.
She couldn't keep the pretzel out of her hand.
Yeah, I got so fat that week. Okay. So yeah, just get out of the touristic areas and find the inexpensive areas. Like try to budget with them also. Tip number 11. Limit your cash. It's a very difficult task to do when you're abroad. I mean, I find it really difficult because obviously if you limit your cash, it means that by the end of the day you only have to spend like 100 euros a day. And if you need to buy something that's, for example, I don't know, Harry Potter World, I had to ask him for money. Well, he helped me, so yeah, I studied.
I was broke for 2 months.
Hey!
Thanks.
It wasn't my fault.
Thanks, Harry. J.K. Rowling.
It wasn't Harry, it was Lily and James.
You screwed my wallet. Damn it.
For 2 whole months.
Yeah.
But whatever, I mean, just try and limit your cash. Yes, I know it would be very difficult to not buy something that you would really like or
That's true.
you, I don't know, sometimes you find things abroad which you don't find in your country. For example, here in our country we are very limited to what we can find, especially like Harry Potter memorabilia because I'm a huge fan.
She's not just a huge fan, she's the huge fan. And we don't have recently a Harry Potter store open, but it's like very limited to what you can buy.
Yeah,
so for her it was like, the best thing she could get from the week. So I would understand if she wants to buy stuff, and that's okay.
Tip number 12. Check for free entrance and free museums. Like when I was in London, there were I think even in Stockholm, every beginning of the month, every Sunday, first Sunday of the month, museums would be free to enter. So yeah, that's a bonus. I mean, if you want to go around and look at museums, especially museums or exhibitions.
Free excursions.
Exactly. Yay. Another tip would be talk with locals. Obviously, locals, they would know the best way around.
Not creepy locals.
Yeah, be careful who you speak to.
Next tip!
Bargain down prices.
Oh, I'm good.
He's really good at that, especially when we're at markets. I mean, it's not the best thing to do because usually at markets there would be local stuff.
I mean, not food stalls. It's quite easy. Tip for doing that: just see what you like and don't buy it.
Just don't buy it. Just ask the price, and if it's too much, okay, buy it. And then he will come running after you, come on.
Like, for example, there was a jacket. I needed a jacket, and of course, how much is the jacket? Oh, this jacket is £125. Very very good. It's okay, but I know what that. And I was going outside. I was like, okay, 100. I said, no, sorry, I can't do that. Okay, final price 80. You take it, very special, just for you. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna spend £80 on a jacket. I was like, okay, 50. Very very good price. Very very good price. And I'm like, dude. No, it's I don't want it. Okay, just for you, I'll give you for £30.
Yeah,
how
that would
about
make it
£30?
so special.
How did this jacket went from 125 to £30?
Another tip, it would be to make friends when you're abroad. I mean, obviously making friends, it would give you more experience to go around the city or go around the area where you are. They would show you a little bit more places, I would guess, and also when you go back to that country from where they are, they might offer you a little bit of, maybe a bed in the house.
Next tip.
Learn the language. It's not very easy in some countries, and I mean, if you're not very good at languages, then just do not even try. Okay, so final tip, it would be, if you're a student, get a student card. It's really helps.
True.
When I was in Rome, I had my student card, I had my university card, and I actually went in the Vatican, and I don't think they charged me for
No, it was
this.
free. For students, it was free.
Even museums and some sightseeing for students, they are like really cheap or even free. So if you're a student, just show them your student card. You will literally like get a budget on almost everything. So even on trains, just look around and check for prices. Yeah, it would be very beneficial, you know? Alright, so to conclude this video, I would say travel a lot, enjoy it, and just have fun.
So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If remember to like, subscribe to our channel. That will help us a lot.
Yeah,
And
it will be somewhere
yeah,
in the
I think it's
corner.
down there. Oh, mistake.
or down there.
Yeah. Just links for everything that we said, like websites or things, will be down below. Also down below, there's our Patreon page that will help us basically continue to do these videos, since you know it's quite hard to do all of this sometimes.
Yeah.
So that will help a lot. So link down below. If you guys have any other suggestions, make sure you put them in the comments.
Yeah,
Other
even if you
people
have
do it.
suggestions on what videos you would like to see or other tips which you would like to include, just put them there in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you like this video. Yay! Okay guys, see you next time.
Bye bye. See you in the next video.
Bye! Bye!